Hey guys, Henry here, and today we're going to be talking about Blade Runner 2049. So Blade Runner 2049 is a sequel to the original Blade Runner film released in 1982, directed by Ridley Scott. This time around, it was directed by Denis Villeneuve and co-written by the original screenwriter Hampton Fancher, as well as Michael Green. The events in this film take place 30 years after the original, which was actually set in 2019, and was a drastically dark and grimy view of what our future would have been just 2 years from now. So the main character of this film is Kay, played by Ryan Gosling, and of course Harrison Ford returns as Deckard. Jared Leto also makes an appearance, as well as Ana de Armas. Straight off the bat, the first thing we need to talk about is the visuals of this film. It's something you notice when you watch the trailers, and you can already tell the film is very focused on creating that really contrasty look, and the way that each shot is framed and colored is very particular and creates a really specific atmosphere that just feels very special to Blade Runner. It is extremely grimy and there are no natural lights. In the city, everything is artificial and you can really feel it with the neon lights and the smoky complexion of the city. Another thing that was great about this film were the themes. The themes, while they were similar to the original film, they tackle really interesting subject matter, such as what does it mean to be a human? Does it matter if we have souls, or what does it mean to have a soul? And it goes further to question our own humanity, and also shows the treatment of replicants in this world to parallel the way that minorities are treated in the world today. All the set designs are beautiful and meticulously planned out, and it really creates a unique world space for these characters to explore. Another really great thing about this film is the sound. The use of horns and the crescendos and increase in volume really involve you as an audience member. And mixed in with the original score, it really creates a nostalgic feel that brings you back to the original film. On the other side, I must say that this film is extremely long. I think it runs about 3 hours long, and some people just find it difficult to focus for that long. And that's fair enough. You could tell people would get sort of agitated or bored at some points, and some points do drag on a little bit. Jared Leto's character literally says one word per minute, and so his scenes are extremely drawn out. Another point is that the story is slightly hard to follow. I know that if you did not watch the original film, you definitely would have found it difficult to follow this film. I actually watched 3 of the short films that Denis Villeneuve had his friends make in the Blade Runner world before going into this, and I found that having watched those, that actually really helped my understanding. And I was thinking, if I didn't watch those short films, how would I really comprehend what was going on? Because I felt like I had information that was vital to the story and the plot of the film. This film itself is beautifully filmed. The plot is laid and complex and interesting, with themes that really make you think about your own humanity and what it means to be human, and it really poses existential questions. And of course, a film like this, paralleling the original film, ends on a bit of a ambiguous note, and a lot of things in this film that are left ambiguous, and that's done on purpose, and it's done really well. And if you're a person that doesn't really like those things, they like to have closure and they don't like things left open-ended, you might come out of this film a bit annoyed that some questions weren't answered and more questions were posed. All in all, in my opinion, I like the 2049 Blade Runner better than the original Blade Runner. I have seen the original cut, the director's cut, and the final cut, and I still feel like this film held itself together and presented a much more coherent and compelling story. And also, the visual effects of this film were extremely well done. I felt really immersed, and none of the visual effects took me out of this film, and that's really important. If the visual effects make you feel like, oh, that's too CGI, or that's really fake, and it really pulls you out of your suspension of disbelief, then that really sort of ruins the film experience. But this film, everything felt real. Everything felt like we were actually there, and that's what really made this film to me. It was beautifully filmed, the effects were great, acting was great, plot was great. I just felt like this film was overall an A+. And now to address the box office. So Blade Runner 2049 actually had a pretty weak showing at the box office on its opening weekend. And to make matters worse, even after all the positive buzz and reviews that Blade Runner 2049 got, a film called Happy Death Day actually took the #1 spot at the box office from Blade Runner 2049. So it looks like this film will probably follow in the footsteps of its predecessor and just become a cult classic and sort of rely on DVD and Blu-ray releases to sort of recoup a bit of that money back. I think when they made this film, they really expected it to be a bit of a blockbuster, but I guess having that Blade Runner name, it wasn't really an entity like Star Wars or like a comic book or anything like that, and the assumption that it would be really big sort of fell short. but I definitely do not fault the filmmakers or the studio. They produce an excellent film, and I recommend everyone go and watch it, and watch the short films, watch the original before you go and watch it, so you can really appreciate the story and what's going on. Alright, thank you guys for watching this review. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe. Got more reviews coming, and hopefully more videos and other stuff as well, and I'll see you guys next time.